hands. I'm gonna crush your hands, stop it.
We live dangerously, if you will.
Don't tell me what to say. I'm gonna crush your hand. Stop it. That wasn't scripted. That wasn't hidden. That was Aaron Phypers caught on camera threatening Denise Richards in a voice just low enough to sound private, but cold enough to make your skin crawl. A chilling moment, disguised in public, surrounded by friends, and no one said a word. This wasn't just a toxic relationship, it was a silent unraveling in plain sight. A marriage wrapped in red carpets, reality TV, and perfectly filtered photos. While behind the scenes, Denise was documenting injuries, hiding bruises, and preparing a restraining order that would later shock the industry. So how did we all miss it? How did a glamorous love story devolve into violence, control, and whispered threats that were anything but empty? The truth is, the signs were always there. We just chose not to see them. To the world, Denise Richards seemed to have found her perfect match. She was the bold, glamorous actress who had conquered both film and reality TV. He was Aaron Phypers, a lesser-known actor turned alternative healer, often described as intense, spiritual, and magnetic. They got married in 2018, just days after announcing their engagement, and their chemistry seemed electric. They laughed in interviews, they held hands at premieres, and on The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, they looked like a couple who had each other's backs. But what cameras captured was only the surface. By season 10 of RHOBH, fans noticed something had changed. Denise, once open and confident, suddenly looked withdrawn. Her tone shifted, her eyes didn't light up the same way. And in one strange on-air moment, she leaned into Aaron and said, "We're being watched." At first, people thought it was quirky, maybe just reality TV drama. But some viewers, especially survivors of abuse, recognized something else: control, fear, a woman carefully measuring every word in front of her partner. The warning signs were right there. In 2023, Denise showed up to a red carpet event looking polished, smiling for cameras, until the photos hit social media. That's when fans noticed it. A bruise on her arm, barely concealed by makeup. A few clicks, a few zoom-ins, and Reddit lit up with theories. Was it an accident? Was she okay? It wasn't long before answers came, and they were chilling. That same year, Denise filed a 30-page restraining order against Aaron. Inside were photos, including that same bruised arm, and allegations that painted a terrifying picture. In the court documents, Denise claimed that Aaron had hit her violently with the heel of his palm, giving her at least 3 concussions. She said he slammed her head into a bathroom towel rack, threatened to kill her, and left her so bruised that she got used to wearing makeup just to cover the damage. The judge believed there was enough to issue a protective order. Aaron was ordered to stay at least 100 yards away from her. This wasn't just a fight gone wrong, it was something deeper, and something that had allegedly been happening for years. People asked the usual question, why didn't she walk away? But Denise answered that too. According to her, Aaron would cry, beg, promise to get help. He'd say he couldn't live without her. And when she tried to leave, he'd guilt her into staying. With love, with threats, with emotional games. She described it as living in a cycle of manipulation, where every apology pulled her in deeper, and every outburst made her question her own judgment. By the time she realized how far it had gone, she was already in too deep. It's one of the hardest parts to understand. How could so many people have seen the warning signs and said nothing? Aaron is visibly seen on camera speaking to Denise in a tone that wasn't just firm, it was controlling. He interrupted her, spoke over her, and made threats that would scare most humans. Friends were nearby, cameras were rolling, yet no one asked if she was okay. Why? Because that's how manipulation works. It hides in plain sight. To outsiders, it can look like a heated conversation or just a protective partner. Especially when the couple is famous, people assume things are being handled behind closed doors. And in Hollywood circles, where image is everything, confrontation is rare. No one wants to overstep. No one wants to cause a scene. But behind Denise's practiced smile, there may have been silent desperation. And while no one can go back and change what happened then, we can start asking harder questions now, like why silence felt safer than speaking up. The final breaking point came on a day most people spend celebrating, July 4th, 2023. Denise told Aaron he had to move out, and according to her, he snapped. That was the moment, she said, everything unraveled for good. Shortly after, she filed for divorce. That date, Independence Day, became the official end of their relationship. Poetic? Maybe. But for Denise, it was a long overdue escape. Of course, Aaron didn't stay silent. In a public statement, he called the accusations completely false and deeply hurtful. He claimed he had never physically or emotionally harmed Denise or anyone else. So far, no criminal charges have been filed, only the civil restraining order, but public opinion split fast. Some believed Denise without hesitation, others accused her of exaggeration. A few asked, if it was that bad, why wait so long to go public? And maybe the most haunting question of all, how many other women hide behind the same silence? This wasn't just a Hollywood breakup. It was a collapse. A love story that went from red carpets to restraining orders, leaving behind emotional wreckage and disturbing questions. Denise's case pulled back the curtain on something rarely talked about: how abuse can live quietly behind fame, fortune, and filtered Instagram posts. And while we may never know the full truth, one thing's for sure: this wasn't just drama for the cameras. This was real, and it was terrifying. Denise Richards isn't the first celebrity to speak out about abuse after years of silence, and sadly, she won't be the last. Hollywood has a long, ugly history of looking the other way, especially when the abuser is charming, well-connected, or hiding behind a wellness brand. Aaron Phypers wasn't some Hollywood bad boy. He was quiet, spiritual, energy-focused. He ran a holistic healing center. He talked about frequencies, chakras, and light. To the outside world, he was the peaceful one, the calming one. But according to Denise, that soft image was the ultimate mask. Behind closed doors, she says, things weren't calm. They were chaotic and dangerous. Throughout their marriage, Denise continued filming, giving interviews, even smiling at public events. But in court, she revealed that much of it was performance. She said she had to look happy, not just for her public image, but for her safety. Because if she let the mask slip, she worried about what would happen when the cameras stopped rolling. She described walking on eggshells, feeling like anything could set him off, and constantly calculating how to avoid triggering another outburst. That's not a marriage, that's survival. And it's something more common than most people realize, especially among high-profile women with reputations to protect. Fame can be a powerful cage. Victims often stay silent because they fear the fallout, losing work, credibility, or even custody. In Denise's case, she had children to protect, a career still active, and a reputation that tabloids love to twist. By speaking out, she risked everything. She knew the headlines would spin it, that people would call her dramatic, that some would say she was doing it for attention. But she told the court she couldn't take it anymore, that the bruises, the fear, the shame of pretending had finally broken her down. And so she chose the one thing her marriage never gave her: freedom. Aaron filed for divorce shortly after the restraining order was issued. His team claims he's been devastated by the allegations and insists they're false. There have been no public sightings of him since. Meanwhile, Denise has returned to work quietly, steadily. She hasn't done a big interview or a dramatic tell-all, but in every small appearance since, there's something different about her, not just strength, clarity, like someone who finally got out of a burning house and is still coughing out the smoke. This isn't just gossip. It's not a celebrity scandal to scroll past. It's a mirror, a reminder that even the most confident, famous, glamorous women can be trapped in abusive cycles, and that abusers don't always look like villains. Sometimes they smile, they talk about healing, they light candles and pretend to be deep. But if Denise's story proves anything, it's this: abuse doesn't always shout. Sometimes it whispers, it hides behind status, it shows up with flowers, then locks the door behind you. Denise's story shocked fans because it revealed something no one saw coming. But maybe that's the point. Maybe we've been trained to expect abuse to look a certain way, to come with a mugshot or a TMZ video or a screaming match in public. But sometimes it looks like a red carpet photo, with a bruise no one saw until it was too late. From the outside, Denise Richards and Aaron Phypers looked like any other Hollywood couple. Glamorous, affectionate, endlessly photographed. But what unraveled behind closed doors was a story of bruises, manipulation, and a woman finally reclaiming her voice after years of silence. She filed the restraining order. He denied everything. And now, both sides have gone quiet. But the damage doesn't just vanish once the cameras stop rolling. And as the dust settles, one question remains unanswered. This story isn't over. Not for Denise, not for Aaron, and maybe not for others we haven't heard from yet. Because in Hollywood, the most disturbing truths are rarely found in the headlines. They're buried behind the silence, the smiles, and the stories people are too afraid to tell. If you found this video eye-opening, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. This is What's News, where we dig deeper, ask what others won't, and bring you the stories behind the spotlight.